of functions, let's take a deeper look at functions in JavaScript. I'm going to go out to CodePen, which is a nifty little site where you can just write some HTML, CSS, JavaScript and see it rendered in real time right down here. So if I put like an H1, hi. Oh man, let's style that rascal. Cornflower blue. Hey, it worked. Pretty nifty. Function examples. Let's save that. I just need some JavaScript. I'm going to turn on professor mode and paste this URL into Slack. What that does is allows you to visit this URL and follow along with me on your screen. And the nice thing is you can actually copy and paste out of there. You just can't change it. You can't change what I'm writing. But you can grab what I'm typing out of there without having to type along. So just some quick experimentation, not part of our project. So we've written a function or two now. Keyword function, the name of our function, like add, our list of arguments, A and B, curly braces, return A plus B. It gives us a little console here. Let's say console.log add 3 and 4. 7. Yay. So this is just a normal function declaration, a function expression. But there are other ways. I know that guy. There are other ways to create functions. We could create them as variables. Let's prove it. What if we said const multiply. Oops, I'm sorry. Const multiply equals a function. What? So this is an anonymous function now. We didn't give it a name. And it just creates this function object that I can just throw around as I please. And I can just assign that to this variable. And it's kind of just as though I had said function multiply in the first place. But it's subtly different. Let's see how. So this should return a time. Console log multiply 4 and 6. Multiply 24. You dig? So we can just use a regular old function expression, or we could assign the function to a variable. Basically achieves the same thing. They are slightly different. And there are occasions when the latter way makes more sense. So let's see what some of the differences actually are. Let's move our functions to underneath our console logs. So let's declare both of our functions down here. Back off CodePen. I know what I'm doing. This is actually a little more than this console can handle. So you see what's going on here. I'm console logging add 3, 4, console logging multiply 4, 6. Let's open up the real console. Let's clear it, just because there's a lot of other junk there. Let's refresh the page real quick, or let's just do this to run it again. All right, I got 7, and then I got uncaught reference error multiply is not defined. So what's going on here? When you do it this way, using the function keyword, a regular old function expression, it does something called hoisting. And what that means is you can use that function anywhere inside that same scope. So as long as you're calling it inside the same scope, you can use it before you've actually declared it. Because JavaScript will go through that entire scope, and by that, I mean, for now, let's just pretend I mean inside its container, whatever that happens to be, like another function. As long as you're using it inside that same scope, it'll go through and find all of the functions and go ahead and declare them all so you can go ahead and use them, even though it hasn't reached that line of the code yet. But you can't do that with variables. So since this is a variable assignment, we're assigning a function to a variable, we can't use multiply until lower in the source than those lines appear, which is probably more what we're used to. The other behavior is kind of a funny quirk of JavaScript. So we could always do it this way to get the behavior perhaps that we expect, that you're not allowed to use things before you've defined them. All right, so 2 different ways of declaring a function. And let's return back to our project and write some more functions.